All right. Why don't we roundabout get started? Because I got the dice roller up. I got the PDF up. I'm, as they say, locked and loaded. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atcast, a podcast for the study of modern visual culture. This week, At doesn't actually stand for anything.
What do
I
you
think I wrote
mean?
something. I think
You
I wrote
wrote
something down.
I wrote.
Did I?
You wrote alien tenderness, and I think
Okay.
that's cute.
I wrote alien tenderness because this is not a main episode. We're doing something a little bit different, and mostly because we're switching that new monthly schedule, and we didn't really have anything that we could turn around for the end of the month, so we decided to play a little game. And what better a game to play with the two of us than a game that I wrote with my hands
Yeah.
and my brain.
Your brain.
So yeah, we'll be playing my game First Contact, which is, I'll read you the blurb in a bit, but yeah. Before we get into that, Renu, what have you been up to since the last time we saw each other?
Oh, I remember telling you I would probably be up to something before we recorded. And you know what? I made a chocolate cake from scratch, and that was fun.
Nice. Congratulations.
It was the first time I've made a chocolate cake like that before, like not out of a box. And so that was fun, like getting to melt the chocolate and then making chocolate frosting. It was like a chocolate mousse cake. So it had like mousse between the layers. So I actually successfully made chocolate mousse for like the second time in my life, and that was great. So yeah, no, it ended up being really rich. So like one of those cakes that you don't want to eat like a whole lot of at once. Yeah, I would consider it successful, so I'm happy.
Well, that's very nice. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
have been doing a lot of cooking.
Yeah.
Now that kind of everybody has to be inside all the time.
I'm glad people need to learn how to cook.
Well, yeah, it's pretty important, I would say.
Yeah. It's healthy. It's healthy if you can learn how to cook for yourself well.
Yeah. I've been doing some cooking too. But I don't know. Sometimes you get a little tired. Like I no joke, like 2 days ago ordered like just a big deep dish pizza, and I've just been eating that for the last 2 days.
That's amazing.
Because I needed to not think about cooking for just like a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we had that feeling like yesterday. We were just like, let's just eat out because we don't really want to eat at like home cooked food right now.
Yeah.
Because it's
yeah.
been a lot of that. So we just ordered like a butt ton of sushi and some mango sake, which was really good.
Oh,
it was like hot sake.
That sounds very nice. Hot
Yeah,
mango
it was
sake.
really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never had flavored sake that was like hot.
Oh, really?
That's new to me.
I recommend it. It was actually really sweet. So
yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, but it was also like really potent. So I could only like sip it, but we were watching a movie, and so I was like, cool, I'll just sip while we watch the movie, and it was good.
Nice. Yeah, that's the thing about hot sake is that like when you drink it, because it's like vaporizing, you have to be very careful, or else it's like very quickly just gonna like into your lungs. Many a time when I have been introducing my friends to hot sake, they're just like, they like smell it and like, huh? It's like, that's a mistake. Don't do that.
Do not inhale the sake.
don't do that. There's definitely alcohol vaporizing off of it as we speak. So yeah. Nice. Well, that's I'm happy for you. Congratulations on your cake.
Thank you. What have you been up to?
Well, okay. So,
Okay.
So here's the thing, which
Okay.
is like very. This is terrible. I hate this so
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past I guess like 2 or so weeks, I
Mm-hmm.
fell into like a weird kind of hole
Okay.
where I started watching those, and this is partly YouTube's fault, and like I kind of understand how people just get taken down YouTube rabbit holes now. Um,
Okay.
but for a while, my YouTube recommendations has been full of clips from VTuber streams, and so
Oh.
I've been watching clips from VTuber streams because I mean, like here's the thing is that like you start from a place where you're like, oh, okay, like a VTuber. Like I kind of
Mm-hmm.
get it, like you want all the energy of a Twitch streamer, but like the persona and image of your anime waifu. I can understand why this is popular. Japan is a country that has a deep and rich history of idol culture. However you might feel about said culture. But
Mm-hmm.
uh once I started watching them, I like
Mm-hmm.
there are almost no words to explain how just freakishly bizarre that world is.
Okay.
Um because it's not even in the slightest what you might expect, right? Like
Okay.
obviously you have the level of the sort of conceit of the whole idea, which is that like, okay, it's basically Twitch streaming but with like anime, face rigs set up.
Mm-hmm.
But it like there's so many like weird things about it when you kind of like look into it, where one of the big companies that and there are companies that essentially sponsor these VTubers. One of the companies is HoloLive, and the idea behind HoloLive, initially at least, was to create essentially virtual idols, right? So like singing and dancing and that whole shtick. So it takes a lot of cues from idol culture, to the point where quite recently, I think like maybe like a month ago, or maybe like earlier this month even, there was a scandal where a VTuber had to put out like a 40-minute apology video because somebody heard like a male voice in the background of her stream or something.
What?
But like that's not even like that's almost like an anomaly in VTubing of this like kind of like idol purity culture where like idols are supposed to be beyond the sort of the realm of the flesh, which is why initially from the outset it seems kind of like perfect, this idea of like, well, like you never see what this person looks like, it's just the persona. But um it's like so much more wild than that, because that's kind of an outlier almost, where everything else about it is like, and weirdly most of the people in these streams, like most of the viewers, seem to be fairly normal, to the point where like when that scandal kind of came out, most of the viewers were just like, why would we care about that?
Yeah.
Very very different from like the kind of at least the perception of the old guard of idol culture. But even beyond that, the thing about VTubing that's so wild to me is that the most successful VTubers are people who have basically like zero filter um, on their behavior, and that seems to be kind of the appeal, which is the gap moe between this conceit of a fictional anime persona and then a real human person who gets drunk on stream and talks about what kind of pornography they like to watch. And like that's
Mm.
it's not like one or two of them. It's like quite a couple of them. And like degeneracy is perhaps the most fitting way to put it. It's I don't know. I don't get it. And like not all of them are like this, obviously, but quite a couple of them are. And there's like a level of and this is very strange to me, but also I guess somewhat understandable. There's a level of honesty and like, oh god, what is it? Like, I don't want to say naivety or like purity or anything of the sort, but like it's just a very powerful earnestness
Mm-hmm.
to all of them. Like the most successful ones tend to be streamers that or VTubers that like put their weird personality on display and then jack it up to 11, which is, you know, how Twitch streamers are, right?
Yeah.
Many of the most successful Twitch streamers are people who have very particular odd personalities
Sure.
that might be amplified by the stream and being on camera somewhat, but you know, you can kind of sense like at least an amount of earnestness from them. VTubing is very wild. It's like really, really fucking wild. Like, you would think that it would be like you would think it'd be like an idol concert, or like, you know, like a normal Twitch streamer. It'd just be like, yeah, we love you, you're the best, and like there isn't an amount of that. But then there's another like kind of like weird like power dynamic shift where like and the like just sometimes you just have to fuel your morbid curiosity, right? And
Okay.
like it's just very bizarre, because like you would think that like it would be a situation where it's just like you're all like creepy and weird and you keep, you know, making gross stuff, but it's like they kind of revel in it, right?
Sure.
One of the most sort of popular and well-known VTubers in this current sort of landscape is Natsuyura Matsuri, who is like well known for just how absolutely chaotic she is. Like she will it is a running joke in the Hololive company, and however how much of a joke you have to wonder it is, that Natsuyura Matsuri has kissed every member of Hololive, at least some of them with tongue. And this is like a thing that she's talked about on stream, and that other people talk about on stream. They're like, yeah, Matsuri senpai was like, you're not wearing a bra, are you? After like groping me. But I mean, it was winter, it was kind of hard to tell. And and this is wild, because that video specifically, the VTuber in question, Suisei Hoshimachi, was like, but that's like normal skinship between girls, right? And I was like, that's real? Question mark? I thought anime made that up.
I thought anime made that up too.
I thought anime made that shit up.
Every time they show that in anime, I'm like, that's not how it is, though. At least, like, all of the girls that I've met in my, you know, 20-some-odd year female life, I haven't had that. I haven't seen that, and I don't really want to be around that. Like, maybe like that level of skinship, you know?
One has to wonder if maybe there's just, like, a different sort of, like, cultural standard in Japan, and if that's, like, an actual thing that people do. At the very least, Natsuyura Matsuri is like has a wild homosexual energy to her. It's kind of it's something for sure.
Okay.
But like, yeah, like she's one of the idols who like frequently talks about like pornography on stream. She talks about the pornography that the like head of the company likes. And I can only imagine what it must be like to be the staff of Hololive and have to like just imagine like you're like, my dream is to start an idol business, so let's do it in the virtual era, and then your idols are just like fucking, so yeah, this is the kind of pornography our company president likes. Wow. I would just resign on the spot. I would just be like, I'm done. Resign. I can't. There's a stream where she gets drunk and she says, "What, you feel bad for the Hololive staff? What? Listen, nobody feels that way. You think you could stop me? You can't stop me. I am Hololive."
Whoa.
So anyway, VTubing is just wild. My brain is like, I can't handle it, because part of me is just like, haha, funny anime girl do the streaming video game. And the only reason I started watching these was because some of them played Apex, and I've been playing a lot of Apex lately.
Okay.
And then another part of my brain is like, so like what exactly is the social role that this functions within? Because like on one hand, the sort of like, you know, it's like, because we did that episode about Twitch, and I think a lot about that kind of stuff, about these like kind of parasocial relationships, and it's like amplified or maybe even taken to its logical conclusion when you have VTubers, because it's like it's not even like a real person you're looking at a persona. And I think weirdly there's almost something a little healthier about the fact that it's kind of like the conceit of the persona. Like people seem to, when they see that, understand more readily that this is not a real relationship that they have with this person. It's like a kind of a streamer audience thing.
Okay.
And it might potentially be because of, the idea of idol culture, where like, you're really more part of the fan base than you are someone who perceives themselves to have a legitimate relationship with another human being, which is kind of the problem we have with Twitch streamers, right? People are like, oh, this Twitch streamer is my friend, or they're like, how dare you not respond to me? I've been giving you money for X amount of years, and
Right.
how dare you betray me like this, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Whereas people don't seem concerned about that at all in VTubing. Maybe they are, right? And there's like always going to be like a couple of people like that. But like there's at least a couple of like of clips where VTubers are just like, what would you do if I like got into a relationship? And they're like, well, we would support you. And she's like, that's not what, you can't do that. I thought you were all losers. So anyway, this is the bizarre rabbit hole that you kind of like fall down when you don't really want to do anything, and like the sort of depression of not having seen the sun in like 2 weeks is like setting in, and you don't really want to move your body, and you're just like, I don't want to use my brain, and the world is on fire. I want to and then you accidentally watch like a billion clips of VTubers. Just, I don't know. It's so weird. It's very, very weird. There was one where a VTuber solicits videos of feet from her fans. Like she's just like, send me videos of you doing things with your feet.
Oh, great.
And I just can't wrap my head around it sometimes. And that's the worst part, right? Because if I could fully understand it, I don't think I would like be as intrigued as I am. But it's just so fascinating because my brain fails to comprehend what is happening. Anyway, that was a very long tangent about what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of VTube, perhaps to my own detriment and to the detriment
maybe.
of my brain. Like I think it's, this is definitely not healthy for any human being.
I understand your initial hesitation to get into this topic now.
It's like, cause like, I mean, initially when I started like watching these clips, I'm like, okay, yeah, this like fills a similar social function as like, like Twitch streamers, where like, it's like this very kind of, it's a place marker for social interaction, and it's perhaps doubled down by the fact that I think the latest like generation of VTubers, like for HoloLive, was like 4th gen or something. What only came out like earlier this year, which is when the whole kind of country and world locked down and everybody was inside all the time and they couldn't talk to their friends. So like, I kind of get it, the idea of a virtual escape space where one can be social with both like a streamer and like a streamer's audience. That kind of thing is appealing. And then I like rapidly realized that was not all there was to it. That these are just fucking weird people.
Yeah, I feel like we got like the tiniest slice of it when we watched that really weird VTuber anime. Do you remember?
Yes. Yeah. And it's interesting because that anime came out like a while ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, I'm sure at this point.
Yeah.
And many of the VTubers, like, you probably wouldn't be able to recognize in like the top rankings of who's popular right now. In fact, Kizuna Ai isn't even like that popular for various mismanagement reasons, to be fair.
Oh.
I think Kizuna Ai is meant to be, I think she's part of the same company as HoloLive, the same parent company. But like, the idea of Kizuna Ai was initially like an idol, right?
Right.
And which is where this kind of whole template came from. But then they essentially were just like, well, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff, and you're not really supposed to like engage your personal personality, etc., etc. Basically, Keys and I became more of a brand than a person, and I think
Oh.
that's what puts people off about Keys and I think what draws people to um Hollow Live and Niji Sanji, which is like these people who are just very earnestly and very weirdly just themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. I think people are attracted to when things are not perfect, I think.
Sure.
Despite what generations of idol culture have suggested to us. Or at the very least, it might be healthier if people just recognize that people are imperfect and very strange and sometimes quite off-putting.
Yeah, but I think it could easily swing in the other direction, right? Where we go from people who are like way too godly perfect and then down into people who are way too degenerate. You know?
Renu,
Like
there is no level of degeneracy that is too much for human beings.
no, like you know, in Valhalla they make a whole character around that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
You're like, how does this person alive? She doesn't sleep. She does everything on
Yeah.
camera.
No. I mean, definitely there is a level of like where it goes too far. I do think
Yeah.
that this is and this is something that I kind of mentioned earlier, but like the fact that the fact that the persona exists is, it kind of presents like a very interesting place where there is a very hard distinction between for instance, like Natsuyo Matsuri, the persona, the streaming
Mm-hmm.
sort of like idol persona, and then whoever is behind the camera, who people just don't really seem to be, or I don't want to say people don't seem to be interested in that, but people seem to be more protective of that than one might first expect. Because like, you know, you're like, well, who's behind the camera? But I mean, it seems like a lot of people are like, I mean, it doesn't matter who's behind the camera. Like the privacy of said person should be protected, etc., etc. It seems like there is weirdly an almost healthier divide between like when someone is streaming and when they're not. Perhaps
Hmm.
because of the structure of like, it's not just you're like an independent company, like you are supported by a company.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like, I would have to formulate my thoughts on the matter further. There's a lot of it that's just like, what the fuck? I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Renu. It's a very like deep and odd rabbit hole, and I wish I hadn't fallen down it.
You
But
learned about an
unfortunately,
entire like subculture that I don't even know if I would ever approach.
yeah. This happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's not like I don't consider it a bad thing, especially because of like you said, the fact that you can promote healthy streaming habits by the fact that they use a persona versus, you know, themselves on camera. Like I do think that that's quite nice. Um yeah, no, it as an outsider looking in, especially after watching that anime, it's like I
Oh
would
yeah,
need a
the
long
anime is
time
fucking
to understand.
wild.
Yeah.
That is 100% something that is not meant for somebody who's not already deep inside of it in
Mhm.
that specific era too, because many of the most popular VTubers just didn't exist until like last year.
Right, because there's a certain way of communicating, there's a certain type of humor that you just have to learn. And I think that's why it's, uh, you know, it's its own culture,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, it has its own rules and everything. Yeah, well, I'm glad you learned that for all of us.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're just one step closer to living in virtual reality. Shrug. Anyway, I feel like we've been
Yep.
on the topic for quite a long time, and we
Yes.
should probably play the game. But
Yes.
first, before we begin, I would like to thank everybody for sticking with us throughout these very wild and unpredictable times. And I mean that both in terms of what is happening in the world right now, of which there is quite a lot, and also the fact that our schedule seems to be very mercurial and changes kind of on a whim. We promise that the monthly schedule is what we will stick to for the moment.
Yeah.
That I know that doesn't sound very reassuring, but I think any longer than that, and we might as well just make videos and not a podcast. Like, no, but yeah. Monthly is where we're gonna go. That gives us a decent and adequate amount of time to do our research on a topic before we convene and talk about it. But that's for next month. Although I think the spring season should be ending relatively soon, like within a month.
Yeah, it'll be
or
ending
two.
within the next month, so
Yeah,
you'll still
so-
get the seasonal anime reviews.
Yeah, you'll still get that. Speaking of, we watched all of BNA. I mean, we didn't watch all of BNA because it's not out on Netflix yet. And I'm not going to tell you that it's really good. It's very good.
Well, we can save that for our spring wrap up.
Yeah. But why don't we get into it? So, First Contact is the very first game that I wrote.
Really?
Yes, I wrote it for
Aw.
I wrote it for a class in university, which is hilarious to me actually.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Yeah. So it was one of the first games I wrote. It was for a class called Experimental Tabletop Game Design, which is a class that they offered at my school, which is
That's really cool, though.
hilarious. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
fun. It is, as one might expect, very, very anime. It is a game about a human and an alien falling in love. So let me read you a little blurb here.
Woo 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 woo.
Something big is happening. An alien and a human navigate the asteroid belt that humans call love. Sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet. This is the story of two falling stars crossing paths. There you go.
So,
yep.
Did you guys play this game in your class?
So we did some play tests for sure, and I think I believe that on the last day we all presented and we like broke into groups and played it. So people have definitely played my game.
Yay!
I think.
That's good.
Yeah. So there you go. There are anywhere from 2 to 3 players in this game, depending on whether you want like a GM type person or not. That might be good if you wanted to facilitate that. But there's only 2 of us, so we will play with 2 of us. And it only becomes vaguely more complicated. That's okay. So
Really?
Well, it just means that when we are kind of narrating, if there's gonna be dialogue between like a player and an NPC, that someone just has to play an NPC.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I mean, and we don't even have
that might be a little complicated. I mean, we could try and wrangle it as much as we can in terms
Well,
of like limiting the amount of NPCs, but
yeah, and there's like
Yeah.
there's only a certain amount of like of dialogue that has to even exist within the game at all. So,
Okay.
we're just telling a nice little story about an alien and a human falling in love.
Oh,
So-
whoa.
Basically, before we get into it, we have to make our characters because it's all part of the thing. I will probably not be putting much editing into this because I don't know. It's kind of nice just to have like sometimes a vaguely unproduced, just kind of like stream of consciousness, sort of game playing. And you'll hear all of our
Okay.
terrible vocal quirks that I usually edit out, like the fact that I use a filler word every other word and say a lot.
I think that's a pretty common thing to happen. I do it too.
Oh, I know. Yours are actually a lot harder to extract because your uhs are ingrained within
Yeah.
your words, and mine are at the very least between sentences. Like there's quite
Yeah.
a long pause between mine. Anyway, so there are two central sort of roles that we are going to have to negotiate. The first is the alien, who the alien will control the alien. You will play up your quirks, and you will learn about the human concept known as love. And then there's the human, who controls the human. You must listen to your heart, follow your gut, and satisfy your curiosity. So, take those words as you please. The human and the alien are young, most likely in middle or high school, because it's not anime if you're not in high school.
Yeah.
So during character creation, each player writes down their details on their index cards. The human and the alien share what their details are. The human doesn't start knowing that the alien is an alien unless the human chooses definitely not human in character creation, which is one of the options that you are offered. The narrator may choose the first complication now or when it becomes relevant. Neither the human or the alien can be honest about their emotions. You have to be soon. And cannot express positive feelings directly. So during the game, phrases like "I like" or "love you" are banned. And instead, if you wish to convey that kind of feeling, you must use a space metaphor. You can still be mean to
both
each
the
other.
human and the alien?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. So if you
does it specifically have to relate to space, or can it be other metaphors too?
it has to be space metaphors. That is the conceit of the game.
Okay.
So the game will take place over 7 scenes over 7 days. A scene refers to any situation that has the potential for meaningful interaction between the 2-player characters. Scenes do not strictly adhere 1-to-1 to days and can take place at any point over the 7 days until the big thing happens. So the narrator sets up the game by describing the big thing happening at the end of the week and then framing the first scene, which is just setting up the scene to, like, in your mind's imagination. So basically, we both have dice pools, depending on whether we choose the human or the alien. And then when we start the scene, we will choose one of our dice to use for that scene. And depending on what the result is, well, we get like a little outcome of like what the scene is supposed to go like. And then after 7 scenes have happened, the big thing happens. And then that's when the confession happens. And there's a lot of sort of stuff around that. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, Renu, I'd like to ask you a question, which is, would you like to be the alien or would you like to be the human?
I will be the human.
Okay. You will be the human and I will be the alien. All right. Okay. Let's see. So we have to make our characters now. Basically, when making your characters, you can just look at the second page, essentially, the other side of the page.
Okay.
And you just choose any of these things, depending on how many it says to choose.
2. Okay. Choose 2. Smart, charming, athletic, nerdy, outgoing, responsible, especially cold, beautiful, paranoid, musically talented. I think I'll imagine my character to be athletic, and I'm not sure about the second one. Maybe outgoing? Yeah, maybe outgoing.
Okay. Gonna be a jock, I see.
I write it down.
Okay, well, I will be an alien with horns and strange speech. I will be aloof, and when I see the human, my hearts beat irregularly.
Your hearts, your multiple hearts.
My multiple hearts, yeah, come on.
Okay. Alien is. Ooh. I have to choose your relation to me?
Yes, so you get to choose that.
A friend, your best friend, your crush, your rival, your bitter enemy, definitely not human. Maybe a friend. We can start there.
Okay, we can start as friends.
Yeah.
Just be friends. Oh, we gotta.
Oh
do
God,
is
there
just
we
be
go.
friends.
You weeb.
Yep, and then.
Okay, when you see the alien, choose one. Your face contorts into a glare. Your heart skips a beat. You feel a chill go down your spine. You can't look them straight in the eyes. You can't stop staring at them. Your speech becomes jumbled. I like that one. Your speech becomes jumbled.
Okay.
Okay. Choose pronouns. I'll be a basic jock dude. That's a pronoun. That's a great pronoun. I like that.
Basic jock dude.
Basic jock dude.
My name is Basic Jock Boy. Okay. Well then, I will just choose the things that are polar opposite to you.
Ooh.
So I will be aloof. My name will be Noon.
Noon?
Noon.
Aloof?
And my pronouns will be she her.
Okay.
So I'm the kudere accompaniment to your outgoing jock
You're
boy.
Kudere!
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you choose a name.
Okay, my name, I'll be Brett the Basic Jock.
Brett!
The Basic Jock Beach Bum.
Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Oh my. So Renu, you have to roll your dice pool.
Whoa, okay.
So you get 66 and you have to roll them and just like save what results you get, and essentially each scene you just get to choose one to use.
Okay.
And we'll talk about what all that means shortly. I guess we can do so now. So essentially the number on the die represents how you have to act in the scene. So
Okay.
If you have an even number, then you're being honest, passionate, charming, empathetic, or heartfelt. Or if you have an odd die, you're being prickly, awkward, off-putting, or mean. So you can be Soon or you can be Dere, depending on what number you have.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to act a certain way, you would put a certain number forward? Or...
Yes, yeah. And depending on how our dice match up, then different things are going to happen. So if we both put forward even numbers, then we will connect. We will get to reroll the dice and then put them back into our pools. If we both put forward an odd number, then we have to discard both dice and we hurt each other. Sad. And when one person puts forward an even die and the other puts forward an odd die, then the person with the higher number re-rolls and keeps both dice. So they get to re-roll those and keep those in their pool. So essentially the pools are like fluid and you will lose and gain number of dice throughout the course of the game.
Okay.
If you have no dice remaining at the start of a scene, you have to treat the number you put forward as a 7. So that is, you have to be mean, and you will almost inevitably just take all the dice for yourself. Just wop, 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 wop. And then other things happen if neither of us has dice, then very bad things happen. But you don't gotta worry about that for the moment. We probably won't get to that point. So we can negotiate what's happening at the like the setup basically. So there is a big thing happening at the end of the week, and we get to choose at least one. It could be more than one. And the options we have are the big dance, graduation, a holiday celebration, a once-in-a-lifetime astronomical event, the end of the year, or the end of the world?
What? Their love won't last very long, I guess.
You don't know that.
How about the once-in-a-lifetime astronomical event?
Okay. Astronomical event. Do you have an idea of what it might be?
I don't know, something that they would be able to watch in the sky.
Okay. So in a week's time, something will be happening in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say just like a huge meteor shower. Okay. So we have a set of complications, of which we can choose one to start. Either there is another alien in the school, the human has a complicated family situation, the alien has a complicated family situation, the government is looking for the alien, someone else has feelings for the alien, someone else has feelings for the human,
oh my god,
or the moon has gone missing.
Oh my god. It's like more severe than Assassination Classroom.
Yep.
I don't know. The aliens in school, humans complicated situation. I don't want to quite do the moon has gone missing. I think that'll bring us in a different direction. I'll let you pick the other one.
Okay. I will say that I think the government is looking for the alien.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay. And then there is a list of other characters, potentially, in case you just need to pull one at random. a rival in love, a bully, a teacher, a cool janitor, a parent, another parent, a friend, an unlikely ally, an unexpected enemy, the man. Someone who is more than meets the eye, someone trying to stop the big thing from happening. So that is the general like idea of what we might encounter in the course of play. So
yeah,
we essentially we just have to choose who sets up the scene. And I think I wrote rules for this when we have 2 people. When the numbers put forward are the same, play rock, paper, scissors to determine who guides the scene. Okay. Let's play rock, paper, scissors, Renu. Okay.
I'm gonna kick your butt.
On 3, okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then we say what result we're doing. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, scissors.
Paper.
Okay, I guess that means I will guide the scene.
Okay,
I will
fine.
guide the scene. Okay. I will say that for the first scene, we are in the school, and it's like your classic sort of Japanese like high school. There's all the like desks in a row. It's after school. The sun is kind of filtering in through the window of the back left corner, of course, because that's where the anime happens, Renu.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling it.
And then in the very corner is Noon, and she's reading a book.
Noon. What's she doing?
She's reading a book.
She's reading a book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Brett in his very Japanese setting.
Buretto!
Buretto!
Buretto-san! Brett is from overseas. He's half American.
Oh my god!
Ore no namae wa Buretto da!
Buretto! Is goofing with his friends. He's being quite loud and obnoxious without really intending to be, but that's how it is when, you know, he gets together with his friends.
Of course. So at this point, you can choose one of your dice.
Yeah.
And that will guide how the rest of the scene plays out.
Okay.
Okay. Did you choose one?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Tell me which one you did.
I chose 1.
I chose 3.
Whoa.
So when we both put forward odd dice, we hurt each other. So we discard both. And I guess, I mean, probably like, and this probably makes sense, right? We're just kind of, I suspect we're somewhat annoyed by each other, right?
Okay.
Just like you're being loud, and I want to read my book. And
so, do we each only have 5 dice to work with from now on?
Well, I have 4, but yes, basically.
I mean, yeah, we both have 1 less.
We both have 1 less. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're annoyed because I'm being a douchebag.
Yeah.
And
God,
you're trying
Brett.
to read your book.
I'm imagining just like it's just a picture of you, but with like a backwards baseball cap on. and weirdly distinct from the sort of like anime pseudo Japanese setting we have going on. You're wearing a Letterman jacket. Like you look like that. You know what? I'm imagining you as an older version of that kid from Persona 5, the arcade kid.
Oh my god! I cosplayed as him.
You did? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I knew. Wearing the fucking
People would come over and they would
smoked cap.
Yeah, no, they'd come over and be like, nice hat, and I'd be like, thanks, and then I'd think about it and be like, do they know that I'm cosplaying, or do they think I'm just a giant douchebag?
Oh my god, I can only imagine. God, it'd be so funny if they saw you and just like, hey, cool digs. Nice clothes. It's like I'm cosplaying. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
I think probably Noon does not say anything, but like looks over at you and is like glaring.
Yeah. I imagine Brett probably, like, maybe he and his friends were, like, tossing around, like,
Oh yeah, football.
like a ball or something. Yeah, and he crashes into, like, Noon's stuff, like her bag or her
Right, all
desk
the
or
stuff on her
something.
desk goes clattering to
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah. And he's probably like, "Oh, sorry about that," and like really like doesn't take it seriously at all.
Okay, I will use my strange speech here.
Ugh.
I'll be like, it's fine. Just be more careful next time. And then she kind of like reaches down robotically to grab the ball and like hands it back.
He's kind of like he doesn't really know what to say, so he kind of like he feels like this is like he should have like a chill down his spine, but he doesn't really. He's just really kind of freaked out a little bit. So he'll kind of like gingerly take the ball and be like, alright, bye, and goes back to his friends.
Okay. I think that is when Noon will just like kind of just like slowly grab things off the floor.
Yeah, he did not help at all. Like,
and that can be it for the first scene if we want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had a great first meeting. I'm very proud of them.
A very nice first contact. So for the second one, we can continue play Rochambeau, or we can alternate. I like the idea of just alternating. So, if you would like to set up the next scene, Renu, you can.
Oh boy, I have to think. Let's see. Maybe there's like a some kind of after school event happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like like maybe like a sports rally or something like that. I don't know, what do these Japanese kids do after school?
From my knowledge of anime, Japanese kids play baseball after school.
They play baseball after school.
So I guess there's like a baseball game.
Sure.
God, it's like that anime that we watched, where everything revolves around the one baseball game.
Oh my god!
You were at the baseball game too? How many times am I gonna see this bench? Yeah. So
okay.
there's a
I don't
baseball game.
imagine. Okay, yeah, they could both be or maybe it's like the school is known for its baseball team, so all of like the student body is expected to be there and cheer them on because it's a home game.
Mm-hmm.
So they make like a huge affair out of it, and that's why they're both there. I don't imagine that Brett plays baseball.
Right? No. He just hangs out. He's like
Yeah.
Brett is like it's like what's the like male version of a gyaru?
I don't know. like a himbo?
A himbo. No. I'm imagining just like where's the like hairband and like it's just like a party dude is like, yo, way.
Made the worst character.
That's a funny way of saying best character, Renu. Okay. Well, feel free to choose a die.
Okay, I gotta roll.
Oh, you have to. So
right.
basically, the way it works is you roll it all at once at the beginning, and then you just kind of pull
really?
from that. Yeah.
Thankfully, I remembered what I rolled in the beginning.
No problem. No problem.
Let me make sure I don't forget. Okay. So I got rid of one. And I pick from the others. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
What number did you choose?
I chose 2.
I chose my other 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the way this works is I get to keep both dice, and then I re-roll them into
Okay.
different numbers. Oh no.
What?
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
And in this, we're basically in what is called in the game discommunication, which is
Okay.
our expectations just aren't matching, right?
Okay.
Like you're nicer this time because you have the even die, but I'm still being like cold and off-putting. So it's your scene to set up, Renu. What is happening at this baseball game to rally the school spirit within all of us youths?
Big school spirit, many patriotic feels, except for your school. So I imagine that the characters are hanging out in the stands. Noon might be there just like out of obligation or whatever. Like maybe she's not super into it. I don't know. You can tell me how your character feels, but
Oh yeah, she doesn't understand this whole baseball thing.
okay.
They're just throwing a ball around. They hit it with a stick. I don't get it.
I imagine Rhett's with his friends. They're kind of like they're just eating and cheering on the players, and maybe they have a couple friends who are playing, so they're cheering them on specifically. Let's see. Do I describe like how like what they're doing?
Yeah. I mean, you can.
How they interact?
Sure.
Maybe I don't know what Noon would be doing specifically, but I imagine she is off kind of like not really specifically with anyone. Maybe she's just kind of keeping to herself like she does.
Oh yeah,
in
she has no
class.
friends.
Okay. Oh no! Yeah, so I think Brett would notice that she's off by herself again. Maybe they have like extra snacks, and so he goes over and he tries to offer her something, like try and get her into the spirit of things, because everyone's being really happy and she's being really depressing, and he doesn't like that.
Yep.
So
okay.
he'll approach and be like, "So hey, we had some like extra, stuff here if you want to like pick something, or like, like he doesn't know how to interact with her."
Okay, I think she's like, I have already consumed the daily required caloric intake for the sustenance of my body. I do not require further snackage.
Okay. He's trying to like understand what she's saying. He'll withdraw a little bit, and offer like, "Oh, well, do you wanna, I don't know, come sit closer to the front? Like, we got a good spot over here. You don't have to, be by yourself."
My current position allows me perfect view of the entire field, as well as quite a couple of the attendees.
Okay, but it seems kind of boring.
I don't understand what you mean.
Like, you're sitting here not really doing a whole lot, when you could be, chatting it up, having fun, laughing. That's what this whole thing's about.
Is the purpose of this event not to watch the people down there hit things with a stick and throw a ball around? Have I
mean, yeah,
misunderstood?
kinda. Well, I mean, sorta, but like also it's like, you know, people get together and then they, you know, it's kind of like a way for all the kids at school to just hang out and have a good time together. And then that way it'll help cheer on the dudes playing down there, you know? Like they feel good, we all feel good, and then they get to do their best. Like,
So you mean to tell me that ignoring the people playing the game will enthuse them?
well, you don't have to like totally not watch the game. Like when something cool happens, you can cheer them on, or if they're not doing so hot, you cheer even harder, you know, try and get their spirits up.
I see. I will consider this. And then I think at that point, one of Brett's friends is just like, "Yo, bro! Bro, come on, get back over here!
Alright.
Man, we're all waiting for you, man!"
Okay, alright! Chill out for a second. I'll be there. And he kind of turns back awkwardly to Noon, whom he still doesn't quite know how to talk to. He'll be like, alright, well, if you feel like joining at some point, there's, you know, places open where we're sitting.
I will consider your request.
Okay.
It's
Bye.
I think when Brett gets back to his friends, one of his friends is just like, "Yo, man, I saw you talking to Noon over there. Is kind of weird, you know?"
Yeah, she definitely kind of talks like I know what she's saying, but I don't know, you know, like I know she's speaking our language, but then she says words that sometimes I don't really get.
Yeah, man.
I think she's just really like smart or something.
She uses those big words, and I don't get them. Hurt my head. But no, like even beyond that, man, it's almost like nobody understands her or nothing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I know I don't.
Ah, well, don't worry about a gloomy girl like that. Come on, man, we're having a good time here.
And now, I don't know, I'll dig into some more of the drinks and food and stuff.
Okay. Sure. So, let's move on to the third scene. The
Third scene.
The
Okey
third
dokey.
scene. Okay. Well, why don't we choose our dice now, and then I will set up the scene afterwards. Okay. What did you choose?
Think hard about which number I choose.
Be strategic, Renu.
Oh my gosh, strategy. I'll choose. Okay, I have another one. I'll choose another one.
Okay. So you choose another one.
Yeah.
So I chose a 6.
Whoa!
Yes, which means I get to take your one.
Yeah.
And then re-roll both of them.
Yeah.
And then put those in my pool.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't bode super well.
Get on my die.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I think in this scene, Brett is hanging out with his homies.
His homies! He's always got homies.
His homies got homies. Sorry. So Brett is hanging out with his homies.
Okay.
And basically like it's probably like lunch break or something, and Noon is nowhere to be seen, and you see a somebody like walk in, and I think maybe he just like beelines towards like Brett.
Okay.
Young man, I have some questions for you.
Whoa. Okay. He kind of looks around, looking for answers from his homies.
They all just like
shrug.
give you like a shrug,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah. and he'll look back at the person and be like, what's up?
We must discuss matters of a sensitive nature. Come with me.
Ah!
And he like kind of like grabs Brett and like brings him outside.
He's looking at his friends for help.
And they're just like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
What you do, bro? Once you're kind of like pulled outside, the man like pulls out his like badge and he's just like,
Ooh.
you can tell he's like a government like officer and he's just like, young man, I've heard that you might have had contact with an extraterrestrial being. A creature from beyond our stars.
Look, man, I don't know what you are talking about. Like, I know I went to that party last weekend. Maybe stuff happened, but I was like, I don't really remember everything that happened. So if something happened, I wasn't a part of it.
I like how these accents suggest that we're in Japanifornia.
I love it.
Yeah, the mythical place where Phoenix Wright exists, Japanifornia.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's like, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Have you experienced any strange phenomena in the last month? Anything unexplained? Out of the ordinary?
I mean, like what?
Like, perhaps a person who seems to be different from others. Perhaps not understanding of human cultures. Speaking strangely, having oddly colored hair. I don't know,
Very
bro, it's just anime.
I mean, just the anime phenomenon. I don't know, man. Like, you know, we live in the city, so like, there's a lot of characters like that. You know, like, you could just go down to the other side of town, and then there's like, you know, there's where everyone parties and stuff like that. You see that stuff all the time. He kind of shrugs.
I see. Very well then. And he hands you a business card and he says, now, young man, I'm trusting you. If you see any strange activity, I want you to report it. It's a matter of public safety.
Oh, okay.
And then
he'll take the card and just kind of like raise an eyebrow at him.
And then he just like walks off. Boom, 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 boom. You see some more of these like kind of agent-looking types like walking around the school. I think Brett probably realizes he hasn't seen Noon all day.
Yeah, he kind of like scratches the back of his head, looks over the card, looks at all the people going around, or the agents walking around, and is wondering to himself what the heck's going on. Like, he thought of Noon during that description of like people who say strange things, but he didn't want to implicate her, so he just kind of like, yeah. So I imagine he'll go back to his friends over in the lunch, the cafeteria, I guess.
Okay.
They'll probably be like, "Yo, what happened?" And he'll be like, I don't know, man. He was just kind of like asking if we seen anything weird happen, but you know, pretty weird of him to ask that. Like, weird stuff doesn't happen every day. I don't know.
I know, man. But just
Um,
think, what if there's an alien in our school? Wouldn't that be exciting?
I guess. As long
Come
as it
on, don't you believe in
doesn't try.
aliens? Ghosts? Anything like that? Dude,
Well, it's not like I've seen any of that stuff. It's outside of movies and all that, you know?
I'm telling you, my grandma's house, totally haunted.
Okay, yeah, but I also don't want to think about like an alien probing my butt or something, alright? Like,
Yo, that is spooky.
yeah, whatever aliens do.
Yeah, man. Ah, well, I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, any of you guys seen Noon around? The girl in our class?
Oh, I don't know,
Quiet
man.
one.
I must be sick or something.
Oh, okay. Just trying to see if these guys would talk to her too or something. They seem like they're kind of going around talking to everyone.
Oh yeah, I had one of them ask me a lot of questions, but I couldn't answer any of them. I don't know.
Mm.
They're like, "Oh, did anything weird happen to you?" And I'm like, "Well, I saw my dog floating the other day, but like, I don't know, man. I think that was more ghosts than aliens. I'm telling you, my grandma's house is haunted."
Maybe your dog's the alien.
Yo, what if my dog is the alien? Damn,
I don't know if you
dude.
should tell them though, because, you know, then they might take your dog.
Ah, shit.
But then what if your dog attacks you? You know, you don't know.
Nah, Mr. Fluffles would
no.
never do that. Would he? I think as Brett is leaving the school later that evening, after all of him and his bros have finished kind of hanging around and loitering, like he can see Noon just kind of like standing at one of the, you know, those like pillars that like hold up that like weird like roof thing that kind of like goes between like stretches of the school.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking about.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's just standing under or next to one of those.
Okay. So, he was on his way home, right? Or leaving the school?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to, kind of, tell his friends that he forgot something back in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And, kind of run back over towards Noon, who is standing ominously under the overhang. Hey, where you been? You've been out all day.
I was in the nurse's office, sick.
You
Thank
weren't
you.
skipping, were you? And he kind of like smiles a little bit.
He's like, I think she just like shakes her head, and she just says, thank you.
Oh. He kind of like straightens up a little bit more proper. Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, there's like some like weird guys hanging around school now or today, and they were like asking stuff, so just wanted to make sure you didn't get caught up in, I don't know. They were asking weird stuff, asking if weird things happen, and I didn't know what to tell them.
Yeah, I think she probably looks like a little concerned. Like maybe that's the first time you've seen like kind of an emotion pass over her face. But then she just kind of like shakes it off and says, no, I'm fine.
Okay. Are you feeling better? You still sick? Do you need help getting home?
I'm better now. Thank you. And then she just kind of like turns and walks away.
Okay.
Okay, it is time for scene 4.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Scene 4.
And I will choose this die. What have you got?
I have a 2.
Okay. I chose a 5.
Woo.
So we are in discommunication again. So I will take your die.
Oh my god.
It's
You
mine
stealing all my
now.
die.
It's mine now. And I believe it's your turn to set up the scene.
Oh man. How many scenes do we have?
We're
total.
currently on 4.
Okay, is it like 4 out of 6?
4 out of 7.
Oh, 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
We're in discommunication. I had an even number, you had an odd number.
Yep. So I will spend this scene acting cold and off-putting, and not dairy at all.
You're the cool, not the dairy.
I'm cool. Just coos. Oops, all coos.
What?
Well, like oops, all berries, but like oops, all soons. Okay, I see. This did not go over as. All right.
You and I are in discommunication.
Listen, it's a Captain Crunch thing. That had a limited run cereal called Oops All Berries.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about now. All right, what kind of adorable high school hijinks would we be up to? Maybe they're in the library trying to study because it's exam week.
Okay.
Brett is struggling because he really needs to pass these exams or he's in big trouble. But him and his friends are all stupid. And they are also easily distracted. So they're not making much progress, and Brett's getting frustrated because he's actually trying to take this seriously for once in his goddamn life.
Bros, if I don't pass this test, my mom will take away my PlayStation. Damn, bro, that sucks, man.
That sucks. Anyway, Mr. Fluffles.
Yo, I was checking if Mr. Fluffles was an alien last night. I think he's just a dog. Man, you know, I did all the like alien tests. You know, I poured some water on him. I gave him some peanut butter. I took him for a walk. I don't know, man. What is there some way to tell if someone's an alien? I thought aliens melted in water.
You see any tentacles?
Nah. At least I don't think so. I'm pretty sure those were just his nipples.
Okay, but how long were they?
I don't know, man. I don't want to be weird about it or anything. I'm pretty sure they were just like normal, I think.
Can't ask that, dude. You gotta respect Mr. Fluffle's privacy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think they're in the library. They're like goofing off. One of Brett's friends has turned his homework into a paper airplane and is like flying it around, and it like flies over and gets stuck in like Noon's hair. Just bop.
Yeah. I imagine Noon is there actually being productive.
Yes,
like,
she's actually studying.
Yeah, maybe she's probably already got the concepts down, so now she's just kind of like coasting or whatever. Maybe she's even just reading something on the side. Like, she's got this.
Smarty pants.
She's smart pants.
But what if the gap was that she was also really bad at tests?
Oh no!
I think I think that's I think that's it. Like Brett like walks over and like looks down at this
Yeah.
at the book, and it's like just marked all like the last test she's looking over, and it's just all wrong.
Yeah, like maybe
It's
he
like
walked
4 points.
by. Like he was kind of curious because he's like, oh man, she's got so many books around her. She's always smart, you know. She's always reading. And then he sees like maybe she has some of her older exams out, and they're all like marked up like his. And he's like, wait a minute.
Like she's good at math but really bad at
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Like math is just like, oh, it's like 87, and then every other test is like 4.
He kind of like double takes and he stops. He's like, whoa, wait a minute. Those look like my grades.
I think she looks up kind of like maybe, and this is I think like this is like something about Noon that's like a little bit that kind of like tips Brett off, where like she looks a little annoyed almost, which is an emotion of which there are not many that appear on her face. Yes, I have some difficulties with some of the material.
Oh man, well, tell me about it. And then he flops down in the chair, like he pulls over a chair next to her, and then he like kind of like just settles his arms over the table, leans over it like he's tired, and he's like, oh my god, like freaking Mr. Nagahara's exams always kick my butt. I know sometimes I have trouble understanding what you say, but everything. I can't even get through a sentence with him, you know? And stuff that he teaches, it just never, I don't know, man. I think if there was any weirdo in the school, it'd be him.
I see. Do you not have fraternize? Sorry, that was me messing up my words.
Huh?
Do you not have fraternizing to do?
I mean, I would, but if I don't pass, then I'm seriously gonna get it at home. So I gotta actually study this time, and those guys aren't interested.
I see. So even you have difficulties like this?
Yeah, all the time. That's like my life, dude.
Well, as you can see, I can be of no assistance in anything.
Well, I mean,
except for
I thought you were like super smart though. Like you're always reading and stuff, and you always seem to. I mean, you don't look as confused as I do during class.
How one looks is rarely an indicator of how they feel.
So you don't get the stuff they teach either?
Much of it is confusing to my sensibilities.
Oh. Well, and he kind of looks over her papers and he sees the 187 and he's like, well, you got this good going for you. That's more than I could say about me.
If your difficulty is in mathematics, perhaps I can help you.
My difficulty is in everything, so I'll take it.
Very well. But just remember, I will not listen to your cries for mercy.
What?
And then
He
and then
fails.
we get the study montage where he's just whipped like a dog. Just like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And he's like, no.
No.
Okay. Well, why don't we do our next scene?
Okay.
I believe it is my turn to set the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. Well, why don't we choose our numbers first? I will choose one
Okay.
of these, and then you're free to choose whatever you choose.
Okay.
Okay. What did you choose?
I chose 3.
I chose a 2.
Ooh.
So you get to take the 2 and your 3 and re-roll them, and you get to keep those in your pool.
Okay.
So in this, I will be empathetic and passionate, and you will be cold and off-putting and mean.
Oh no.
Yep. So I think probably in this it's like the next day after the exams have happened, so like probably 2 or 3 days after the study session, and the men come back and they pull you aside, and they pull up a picture of Noon, and they say, "This is the extraterrestrial being, and we know you have had contact with her.
Oh.
You will relinquish the whereabouts of this creature."
Creature. Dude, she's a girl. What do you mean creature? I don't see how she could be an alien or whatever, you know.
She is an
ET
extraterrestrial
bullcrap.
being from beyond our stars. We do not know what her purpose is on this planet, but we must find out.
I mean, do you even know what your own purpose is? Like, this is crazy. Why are you
This is a matter of
How do you
public
expect-
safety, young man.
public safety? You're accusing this girl who I don't even know. Like, how do you just like pick some person out of our class and decide that they're an alien? What kind of proof do you have?
That is not for us to prove to you. We have sufficient evidence.
And he rolls his eyes and then he shrugs like, I don't know. I haven't seen her all day.
I see. You do not appear to be lying. But trust us. If you are, we will find out. And he like menacingly kind of walks away. Boom, 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 boom. And he's like talking to some other people like in these like suits and sunglasses.
Brett is big grumpy. And he's just kind of like,
Grumpy.
I imagine he might have still had that guy's like phone number or card in his pocket, you know, in his Letterman jacket pocket or whatever, and then he like crumples it up and throws it on the ground and he storms off.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and I think probably later in the evening, like you just hear a knock on the door, and then like I think your mom is like, "Honey, somebody's here for you."
Okay. And I get up from, I don't know, I was probably laying on my bed thinking about stuff. thinking about those douchebags from earlier.
Man, who do they think they are?
Yeah.
You do that, and when you go to the front door, you see Noon is there.
Hey. I didn't know you knew where I lived.
Good evening. I inquired about your whereabouts from the class president.
Okay. Do you want to come inside? He kind of looks around, checking for like if those weird dudes are out there.
Yeah. She nods.
Okay. Yeah, I step aside.
Yeah, she like walks inside, like takes her shoes off, is like, "I require your assistance."
Uh-huh. And he closes the door, checks again to make sure they're not out there, and then goes to join her. Yeah, what's wrong? You seem kind of a little weirder than usual.
The men in black are searching for me. They've staked out my home. If I
Oh.
return, they will surely catch me.
Yeah, like, what's that about? They came over, like, questioning, like, everyone, or, like, me specifically, like, saying that you're, like, an extra, an ET, and I don't know, like, I thought it was super weird, and I was asking them for proof, and they didn't have any to show me, or they were all being like, ooh, you don't even know.
I think at this point,
Like, what's up with that?
I think at this point, your mom calls and is like, "Brett, honey, would you like some dinner? Would your friend like some dinner?"
We're fine, Mom!
All right. And I think like Noon kind of like almost like laughs a little, just like a small like.
Yeah. Wait. Do you want to eat something?
I must admit, I'm envious of your situation.
Okay, change my mind, Mom. We're gonna come eat.
You just dear, dear, it happened.
Get the food out.
Get the camera. So you're all sitting there. You enjoy a very, very awkward family dinner. And then afterwards, your Brett and Noon are like sequestered aside. It's like, I have. Never mind. Is it all right if you don't ask? At least for the moment, I promise things will become clear in time.
I don't get it. Like, why are these dudes coming around asking stuff and like I mean, I know I don't know a whole lot about you, but I don't know, all of this just seems way too weird, you know, like like out of nowhere.
Perhaps. But perhaps things were never normal to begin with. And she kind of leaves off on that cryptic message. I think your Brett's parents like are maybe like you get like a Brett like has like a sob story set up like, oh man, like, you know, she's like running away from home. Mom, can we like set up the couch or something? So she sleeps on your couch. Okay.
The parents graciously set up the couch.
They're just like, would you like some milk before you go to bed?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. And then yeah, why don't you set up the 6th scene?
Okay. Let's see. 16. Should we roll our...
Yes.
Or no, not roll, but choose our dice.
Yes. Okay, what did you choose?
I chose 6.
I have chosen a 1, so you can have that die.
Okay.
So, what does the next scene look like? It's probably only a couple of days until the meteor shower begins.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We're in discommunication.
Correct.
Player with the higher number of rerolls and keeps both dice. Wait, so what do I do with the result of the...
What do you mean?
Of the reroll?
You get to put them back into your pool.
Oh. I see.
Yeah, so the number of dice we have between us will fluctuate depending on what we do.
I understand. Okay, so I rerolled them and I put them back in my pool. I should have asked the last turn, but I forgot.
That's okay. No worries, no worries.
Okay. So we're one scene away from the meteor shower?
No, we were actually 2 scenes. So basically, you have one more scene. I will set up the last one, and then after that, whoever has, I think more dice will set up. Oh yeah, we reroll all of our remaining dice after that, and then whoever has the lower sum sets up the confession scene. So essentially, we have like this scene, one scene after, and then the last scene.
Okay. This scene. So I imagine, with the excuse that Noon has like run away from home, that she's been staying at Brett's house for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Wonder what we should do. I imagine that maybe Brett's dad is like hosting like a cookout or something at their house for some of his coworkers, you know, like and he's inviting them over, and so the kids are having to help like set things up and you know, prepare food and set up the decorations and, or I don't know, clean up the house basically.
Right.
Brett knows what's going on because he's had to do this quite often, versus Noon is probably like, what is this new human thing?
Shrug?
Yeah. They haven't really had many productive conversations about the whole thing because Noon has been very like mysterious about it, and Brett's been pretty frustrated, like he doesn't know what's going on. But there's this girl staying at his house, and he doesn't really know her very well, and he's trying to like kind of get her to open up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're both having set up most of the stuff, and the guests have arrived and they're chatting it up outside. Brett takes a break from like, you know, schmoozing with like his dad's friends or whatever, you know, having to do the whole like be hospitable thing. Comes into the kitchen and like starts, I don't know, like takes a break or like tries to help like sort things out. I imagine he wouldn't have like, none of them would have made Noon like come out there unless she wanted to, kind of deal. But they freely offered her the food.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah, and I think she just like politely accepts.
Yeah.
I think over the past like probably like two or 3 days, that Noon has been slowly but surely like opening up, is like a little bit more willing to have emotions appear on her face. And then all of a sudden she's just kind of like very cold and like very like just ironclad, nothing gets out sort of, and it's like very sudden and jarring for Brett, who's like, oh man.
Yeah, so maybe they're in the kitchen and they finally have a moment to themselves. And he asks her like, everything good? Like, I noticed you kind of haven't been talking much lately. I mean, I know you don't talk a lot at all anyway, but like even more, you know, today.
It's none of your concern.
I mean, I just don't want to like. I know my dad's like pretty obnoxious with this kind of stuff. Like he holds these kinds of parties, and I don't know, likes to hang out with his dudes from work. But yeah, Sorry if it's annoying, I guess.
She like shakes her head. Nothing you nor your family has done has been objectionable. In fact, you have welcomed me with an unprecedented level of warmth and acceptance.
Well, I mean, yeah, like, he kind of rubs the back of his head and he's like, well, it's not like we say no. I mean, we're not gonna make you homeless or whatever. And, mom's pretty excited. Like, she's always told me that she always wanted a girl, and then she got me. And so I think she really likes having you around. And then, Dad says that you're a good influence on me because, like, I brought back that really good, like, math score and stuff, and he was pretty stoked on that. It's like he almost cried and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, Brett's parents.
So yeah, I mean, you're I just don't want you to, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Have those guys, like, been bothering you? Like, I know I can't, like, be around all the time because I got school and stuff too, but just want to make sure.
No, it seems that my location is currently unknown, but, well, never mind. It's nothing that you have to concern yourself with.
Well, I mean, you keep saying that, but we're kind of here now. Do you miss school at all? I mean, some of the guys have been talking about, like, well, they've been asking where you've been, and I kind of been giving them excuses. I can't tell them that you were here, but I told them that you were, like, sick or something.
There is much that I don't understand about school and the social aspect of what happens there, but I can say that I do miss it.
Yeah, well, I hope those dudes kind of, lay off and go take their crazy train somewhere else, because, you don't seem like you deserve this. You don't look like an ET to me, and I don't think that should really matter anyway, because I ain't never seen you hurt anyone, or,
Brett, you are a good person, but few of us rarely deserve the circumstances we were born into. And then, and it maybe as he's trying to wrap his head around that, she just kind of walks off.
Yeah, he's like,
Man,
his brain had a full stop there.
Dial-up modem sounds.
Yeah.
All right, so let's set up the seventh scene. I think it is the morning of the meteor shower. And
whoa,
when you awake, the couch has been vacated, so it's empty. The blankets have been, like, neatly folded, and, like, they're just, like, put in a stack, and you just have no idea where Noon is gone.
Oh no.
So why don't you choose a number?
Oh, okay. I have many more numbers to choose from now.
Okay. What have you decided to put forward, Renu?
I chose 2.
Okay, I chose a 1.
Ooh.
So you can have that. So I suspect that Brett is like, whoa, what?
Whoa!
And will probably attempt to find her.
Okay.
And maybe even skip school to do so. Listen, Brett can skip school.
Unprecedented.
Brett can skip school. He's a delinquent.
He's my jock delinquent.
Delinquent jock boy. So yeah, Brett like it's like whoa and like runs off.
Yeah.
I think like after a couple hours of searching, like it's probably even like it's getting dark when he kind of like finds her. She has like a bunch of like packed bags and appears to be waiting for a bus. Yeah.
So he's shouting "Noon" from far away, and he's like completely out of breath because he's been searching like all day. And he'll like run over, like summon some of the dregs of his energy, run over, and then just like stop to like catch his breath, and then he's kind of like vaguely waving at like her and then the bags, but he's not really saying anything coherent.
I'm surprised you found me.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like I just kind of started crossing stuff off. Like I got a map, and like he kind of like takes out this like really crumpled like map of the town, and it's got like various markings all over, and he kind of mentions briefly like, "Oh, you know, my parents and what are you doing here?"
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think she's like just kind of like is still giving off the impression of like being very distant, and is this is simply where I need to be. I cannot burden you or your family any longer. And well, and she kind of goes silent.
What do you like? Why now? Like we were fine. I thought things were cool. Like I know, like I mean, I know, like I snore super loud, and like mom and dad kind of ask a lot of questions, and they talk to you a lot. But like I thought things were okay, and the dudes haven't found you yet, right?
She shakes her head, and she says, "No, no, it's none of that."
Like I don't get it. You know, I don't even see them much at school anymore. I think it's getting better. It's gonna be okay.
Brett, can I ask you something?
Yeah, what's up?
Will you come with me, at least to the end of the bus stop?
Well, where are we going?
I can't say, but you'll see.
He kind of looks around, and then he like throws his hands up in the air, and he's like, "Well, I'm not letting you go alone now that I finally found you. So, all right, give me some of those bags." And he takes some too.
Okay. So you wait for the bus together, and then you get on it, and it seems to go for like 30 or so minutes, and it kind of lets off at like this like mountainous area. It's like, you know, and it's kind of, the sun is setting now, it's getting darker, and she just starts walking up the like hiking trail.
Is everything cool? Like, we're in the mountains and it's dark. Are we gonna like, are there like bears and stuff out here? And he's looking around very suspiciously, like very cautiously.
She doesn't say anything until they get to the top, and then let's do our denouement, Renu.
What does that mean?
It means you re-roll all the dice you currently have, and then you add up all those numbers, and you tell me what the total number that you have is.
Okay, let me make sure I got all my dice in a row. So I re-roll all of them, you said?
Yes, yeah. So,
Okay.
like, the number that you have of them.
How many should I have? Just like...
So you started with 6, and then
Yes.
you lost and gained them based on what happened. So, like, you lost one at the beginning. I think I took 2 off of you, and then you took 2 back. So you might be a 5. I think. So you just roll five dice, and then you add up all the numbers.
I'm sure this would have been a lot easier with physical die.
Yeah, it would be. But that's just how it works.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. All right, what is the number that you
I roll
have?
them all, and I add them all up.
Yep.
21.
21. Okay, I got 12. So that means that I start, or I get to set the scene for the confession.
Woo!
So I think this is what happens. It is the night of the meteor shower. It has once you get to the top of this mountain, it has just begun, and she kind of like it's like that kind of scene where like if you were playing a visual novel, it'd be like a really nicely put together CG where like the like wind is blowing, the like wind is blowing, the like illumination of the stars in the background. And she says, "Brett, I'm not a human."
What? What do you mean?
I'm an alien from space. I came to this planet mostly by accident. I all I could think about for the last 4 years was how to get home, and
No, you don't need to start talking like those guys too. Like, what is this? For real? This is happening?
she nods. I don't have many friends, but I could tell that something was happening, and if I were to get too attached here, I would miss this. And she like kind of like gestures to the meteor shower, says, and I would never be able to go home. I'm sorry for the way that I treated you, but I thought it would be easier if we weren't friends anymore.
Is that why you tried to take off?
She nods. Says, you do strange things to me. I don't understand it, but when I'm with you, it feels like a black hole is opening inside of my chest.
It doesn't sound good.
She just like shakes her head. I don't understand it either.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Noon. It felt like, we were actually, like, getting to know each other, but if you say bye now, then I don't know, it feels like too soon, Like, but I don't know. If you got, like, a family waiting at home and stuff, like, I can only imagine what would happen if, I ran away from home or whatever, so. But I don't know. And he, like, he looks, like, genuinely torn.
Yeah, just
this one side, this other side, like.
I think she hugs Brett. Just like, I too am torn. For the last couple years, I've only ever thought about how to get home and about going home, but now there are things that I care about here too, and it would pain me to never see them again.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard. Now that she's this close, he has, like, a really hard time putting together words.
How do you even have and I think, like, probably, like Brett can tell that her hearts are beating.
Her hearts are multiplying!
So it's like,
like, he probably thinks that it's his own heart that's just going,
he's like,
crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I mean, I won't say that, like, you won't be, I know you sometimes look bored a lot, but there's a lot of cool stuff still here to do, and, like this, and he kind of, like, looks up at it waves kind of at the sky or whatever, like, this is pretty cool, right? Like, I could see the stars, the shooting meteor stars in your eyes. That's pretty cool.
Yes, this is the most beautiful sight I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know, like, I know I'm not the nicest guy in the world. You say a lot of nice things about me, and that's cool and everything, but I don't know, I'm kind of a prick, I feel like, because I don't really want you to go, Noon.
If I ask you to stay with me, will you? Whatever that means.
Wait, what does that mean?
She does not elaborate further.
I mean, if it means I get to take your bags and you back home, then yeah, I don't want you to stay in these spooky woods forever. Or and he tries to think about, like, what her home would be like, because she's an alien, so he has no idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I think in that case, that is the closing of what happens, and I mean, yeah, we have to. So the last thing we have to do is give the characters an epilogue, basically.
Whoa. Okay.
So I think what happens is in the middle of this last scene, like after everything kind of fades out, a flying saucer drops from the sky and appears.
Whoa.
And somebody who is like an alien that looks like Noon's dad, basically, is just like, good news, Noon! I set up the permit! We have diplomatic relations opened with the planet Earth!
What? I did it! Yay me!
And she just looks up like, what?
Brett is completely lost now. He's staring up at this ship like, oh my god, it's real. She wasn't kidding.
And then like there's just like a set of like news pew 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 things that come on, just like contact made with aliens, diplomatic relations have been opened, hyperspace gateways are being constructed as we speak.
What? So much.
Listen, it's not.
This is
not
like
fun unless we
Gintama.
yeah, I was gonna say it's not fun unless we drive it off the rails at the end. And I think like probably the epilogue is like all of this like really wild stuff happens, and then Brett and Noon are just back in school again.
Maybe they have like some kind of like alien translators there, like for some of the like maybe they get other alien kids coming to the school.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I guess. that is the game. So,
That's wild, dude. And they get to keep being friends.
So, how did you feel about that?
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Good, I'm
It
glad.
has like a lot of room for creativity because we each get to set up like our own scenes and stuff.
Yep, it's a little push and pull, little
Yeah.
you know. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. That was my first game, first contact.
Ah, pew 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 pew.
Okay, well, I suppose we should close out then.
If you guys want to play this game, it's on your itch.io, right?
Yes, it's on my itch page.
Yeah, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, it's very off the cuff. Like, you just need some dice or virtual dice. And you make 2 characters, and then that's it. You design all the scenarios as you go.
Yep. Very pick up and play. As long as you got dice, something to write on, and some time. So
Yeah.
there
And then
you go.
get to maybe have 2 people fall in love, and that's sweet. Well, a people and an alien.
People and an alien. Yep. So, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet?
Oh my gosh. I am Renu. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook at Swandron. You can find me on Instagram at swan.dron. I've been playing Okami on my Twitch channel, and that's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
If you want to get into that Japanese mythological stuff with very pretty art and all that. We're in like the second half of the game, which is dope, which means we're getting there. We're getting to the end-ish.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's it, man. Maybe I'll art again someday.
You know what? That's very fair. You know, it is not. It should not be the expectation that things get done in these trying times. It is just enough to be alive. So, yeah. No, I feel it. I have also kind of just like been trying very hard to be productive while everything is stressing me the hell out. But you know, I'm glad that we could sit down and play the game together. Yeah. I've been missing playing games with you, Renu.
Really? Oh, that's sweet.
Well, yeah, because we haven't had D&D in like a couple months now.
I know, but we might resume soon.
Yes,
fun.
we might.
Yeah.
That's very exciting to me. All right. You can find me.
What about you?
Yeah, you can find me all places at Literal Soup. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep, that's as straightforward as it gets. I haven't been doing much on the internet. Mostly just been keeping to myself. Trying to hold it together.
You holding it together?
Yep, holding it together.
Good.
Taking some time for me.
Yeah.
You know, doing all that kind of stuff. Our opening is by Scotty Network, and our ending is by Takuma Kara. And the patrons we are thanking this week are Frostfall, Cheru, Sean, Gwen, Claire, Figure 4, and Mac by Mirror Test. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for continuing to contribute to our wonderful, wonderful podcast. Obviously, we could not do this without you. So thank you so much. I think that's it. The next episode will be at the end of June, and it will be about Haikyuu. So that will be super exciting.
Oh my gosh!
Stay tuned for that. Yeah. And at some point before or after that will be the wrap up episode for Spring 2020, which has been pretty good so far. There have been quite a couple of shows that have been very good. So
yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Look forward to that, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. If you play the game, let us know. We want to hear about it.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
There's on the itch page, there should be community copies of the game, I think. So if you, for whatever reason, cannot or do not wish to pay for the game, you are completely free to claim a community copy. There's one that goes up for every copy that gets sold, so you know everyone can play the game if they want.
Aww, yay!
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
さようなら。また明日ね。